Greetings, Lucky Legends. My name is Lucky. This is Lucky Lad TV. I am your host for this video, and today we are joined by the king of bug shiny hunting, Mr. Autumnal Drive.
Yo, what is going on? My name is Dan, aka aDrive, bringing you guys a nice little interview here for the GBA and all sorts of other fun stuff. So guys, I hope you guys are enjoying this video. Please leave a thumbs up rating if you are, because it'll help him out, and that's what's cool, right? I dig it.
Yep. So basically, the point of these, and every episode of the CageLocke makes this interview more difficult because because the point of this interview is to be able to get to know your favorite content creators, learn more about them as people, not as just faces on a screen. And you and Shady keep talking about all the stuff that I was going to ask you guys, like, oh, where'd you get your name? Covered. Why'd you start YouTube? Covered. How long were you sitting at a really small channel? Covered.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can still ask those questions. I'm sure not everyone watches the CageLocke, first of all. And second of all, I think when people do watch some of those longer videos, they kind of skim through them in some situations. So people might not actually know the answer. So fire away, man. I'm all yours.
Well, the first questions that I want to ask are the ones that we got over Twitter because, you know, I think that they should get priority for following through on the instructions. So, and these are all the GBA questions. The first one is, who do you think has the best team in the GBA so far? I'm going to edit that question and say, besides you.
Me. No.
Still me.
That's really tough. That's really tough to say. So, there's a lot of really good teams, and I think coming into the draft and going out of the draft and looking at all the teams after we've all drafted the Pokemon and stuff, it's easy to say, okay, this team's really good, this team's really good, this team's really good. But if you're looking at the team plus the coach, then I think that adds a little bit more clarity there. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that, in my opinion, the best battler and the best team in the GBA is going to be Mr. Mega Mogwai. Now, I don't really know all of Miguel's team in its entirety, but I do know that Miguel is an absolutely phenomenal battler, and I do know he's got Lopunny and a couple other big threats. So while I haven't really investigated too much on what other people are running, because I really focus week to week, I don't look too far ahead. I just week to week, okay, like this week I play Crimson, next week I play, you know what I mean? So I haven't really dug too deep into a lot of the teams, especially if I'm not playing them in the first place. But I would say that just with battling skill and from what I've seen so far in his matches, I think Miguel has a really good opportunity to win the whole thing this season and in future seasons to come. The guy's just a tremendous battler. He just thinks one step ahead, or maybe 5 steps ahead, really, and he does really good at team building, and he does a really good job. So I'm a big fan of Miguel's, if you didn't know. So I'm gonna say Miguel. And then if I was just looking at team, and this isn't to knock his battling prowess, because I think he's a tremendous battler as well. Mr. Shady Penguin has quite the team. When I was planning for him, it was very, very tough. That Superior alone, Milotic, Mega Scissor. See, I know his team better than anyone else's, but you know, he's got so many offensive threats, so much speed, and so much power, and it's really, really challenging to plan for Shady. So I would say the two of them combined, like separately, whatever you want to look at it, both absolutely tremendous battlers, both really good teams from what I know, and I think both of them have a really good shot to come out on top. But it's my job to stop Shady, so I can't stop Miguel. Miguel's just gonna do his thing.
The way that I look at it when it comes to Miguel is that, if you think about it this way, he was doing a showdown session while he was drunk, and he was still 5-0ing and 6-0ing people while he's drunk.
He's pretty good.
Climbing the ladder, and it's like, if you can do that while you're drunk, imagine what it's like when you're sober. Like, it's scary.
Yeah, well, I mean, in history, I know a lot about baseball. In history, you got guys like David Wells and stuff who used to pitch drunk, and there's been pitchers who like pitched on acid for their entire career. So you never know. There's all sorts of fun stuff. So hey,
and Shady, and for Shady, he's been here the whole time, so he's a true GBA veteran. And he and Magnitude just clashed, and I'm not sure if I'm sure you watched the match or at least heard about it. But
I did watch.
Got 4 kills, and
Superior is a problem, ladies and gentlemen. It is a problem. I did not pick up Vileplume for no reason.
I was like, when I was looking at the free agency, I'm like, now that I'm looking at it, aDrive's best counter to Superior right now is Chansey.
Chansey actually, after +6, can live. If Superior is +6, I can actually take 2 Leaf Storms from a +6 Superior. So Chansey is a good counter to Superior, but only if it's not carrying Substitute. If it's Sub-Superior, Chansey has no chance because I can't do anything back to it. But if I could paralyze it, then Superior is useless.
Yeah.
So,
and we're back with Mr. aDrive himself, because my internet is the equivalent of Well, apparently the equivalent of Gym Leader Geo's internet.
More disconnects, man. More disconnects.
Just more DCs than David. And that's saying something. So the next question that was on the GBA, and I have to edit all these questions because, you know, obviously the correct answer to all of these questions is aDrive. So the next question was, what Pokemon on your team specifically do you think deserves MVP right now?
Just looking at my team alone or looking at the entire league? Just my team alone?
From your team, who do you think has been the MVP so far?
Wow. So that's kind of a tough call. I'm going to go and say that actually, so there's two answers to this. The first answer, and I think my real answer, is going to be Mega Sableye. And the reason why is I just think from a team planning perspective, from a hazard deterrent perspective, and from the fact that it's actually put in a decent amount of work so far in the first few games, Mega Sableye has been an amazing Pokemon on my team. It hasn't, I mean, there's only one time so far where Stealth Rocks have been put up against me, and I let that happen. So Mega Sableye has put in quite a bit of work, and it's been a really good Pokemon on my team so far. But I'm actually going to go kind of a little off the beaten path here, and I'm going to actually say Terrakion. And Terrakion is yet to actually hit the field in the GBA, but the fact that it sits on my bench or it's on my team or whatever, it changes the way people have to plan for my team. Because you cannot go into a match and not prepare for Terrakion, because legitimately, if Terrakion comes in late game, you just click close combat and it's going to just destroy a team if everything's like close to half. Like, there's nothing that's going to live a hit from a Choice Bandit or Choice Scarf Terrakion. It's just not going to happen. So, like in Geo's case this past week, Terrakion would have wrecked through the rest of his team at the end of the game had we got into it. And the case is the same for many of the weeks that I'm going on here, going up against Crimson soon and so on and so forth. Terrakion is a big problem. Now, I don't bring it. I haven't really been bringing it, but just the fact that it sits there and people have to prepare for it, and people have to team build for it, all that does is open doors for other Pokemon on my team to be able to shine. And, you know, for me, my team is about defense. It's about wearing my opponent down and then bringing something in late game and sweeping. That's what my team's about. That's what I have to focus on. Picking up a little kill here and there with Counter and Will-O-Wisp and whatever else, and then coming in late game and just clicking Close Combat or Stone Edge. And Terrakion really puts a lot of fear in my opponents in the fact that they have to prepare for it, for one, and two, if they don't, they're going to get swept. So I'm just going to keep not bringing it, and we'll see what happens.
And then eventually I'm going to bring it, and they're going to all lose.
Well, that was my thought against Gym Leader Geo, is I was actually bringing it, and then I didn't have to use it because we disconnected. But like Crimson prepared for it week 1, I didn't bring it. I'm facing Crimson again. Am I bringing it? You'll have to see.
Nobody knows.
I'm not spoiling. You have to watch the match.
I haven't. The reason I didn't. I don't know if you have you actually had the match yet
against Crimson. No, I haven't.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I wasn't gonna look at the spreadsheet to see if you had won yet, because I didn't want to have any spoilers for myself either.
Yeah, no, I haven't played him yet. I'm actually gonna play.
I would be afraid of blurting it out.
Yeah, no, I prepared this morning. I did my team press recording this morning as well, and everything is in my head. It's all set. All my sets are picked and everything. I'm ready to rock. But I battle him tomorrow, so break down that fourth wall. We don't actually play on Sundays, guys.
No!
I know, right? Everyone's like, is he going to know your moves and stuff? No, he's not. He's not.
But, so, that was the last of the Twitter questions, because you kind of answered like 3 or 4 of them in one question.
Sorry.
When I asked you who you had... Because one of the things that I asked Gio week 1 was, who are you most scared of? And he's like, Miguel.
Yep.
And I'm just like...
I don't play Miguel, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Lopunny destroys my core, but I do play Steve, and Steve has Mega Gardevoir, which kind of destroys my core too. So
Mega Gardevoir is terrifying.
We'll see.
It was funny when Steve was... on Twitter, he was like, "Oh, you're revealing my strategy," and I'm like, "Yeah, Psyshock Hyper Voice is such a secret."
Yeah, right.
And, oh no, lucky
I'd have to see. I'd have to see if Max Defense Chansey can actually live 2 Psyshocks and have a 3-hit KO. Because if it is, then Mega Gardevoir is not actually a true counter. But we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. I know he's gonna want to skill swap my Magic Bounce. I'm gonna be honest. I know that's coming. So,
ooh,
I'm ready, Steve. Steve and I had lunch last week, and I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, because you guys live right near each other, which is, you know, it adds, like, my favorite upcoming matchup is Nips versus Shady.
Yeah, Shady's got to bring Regirock. He's bringing Regirock. There's no doubt.
He's got to bring the Regirock. 1 and 2 is They live literally next door to each other.
Yeah, I think Steve and I might actually play our match in person. We discussed it, so we'll see. We'll get a little camera crew set up. We're gonna
at the karaoke bar.
We might make it happen. It might go down. So I was like, Steve, how are we gonna run calcs and stuff? He's like, I don't know. Bring a laptop. I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Bring a laptop.
So we'll see. I don't have a laptop, so we'll see what happens.
All right,
I'm running calcs in my head.
I would not be surprised if you have a human calculator. Given your college background, because I have the same type of thing. I've always done math in my head. I know that you worked at a marketing firm. So if you have a human calculator in your brain, I would not be surprised at all.
Not quite, but
as for that's pretty much the bulk of the GBA questions, because we covered your team, we covered your view on the other coaches on the other teams. But one of the things that I have not actually seen you talk about, and Mike, this may be something that you talk about in an upcoming episode of the CageLocke, is, as you know, Shady does not like bugs. I don't know if you saw his most recent episode of his Black Nuzlocke, but a hornet about this big came into his room, and in the middle of recording, you see him leave, come back with a shoe, and then there's about 10 minutes of him trying to kill the hornet, which he edited out. But and then like for the last 3 episodes, it's been him saying how he doesn't like bugs. And you guys match up again in week 7. And I'm thinking that's leaving a little salt for you.
Well,
seeing as how he's talking about not liking bugs, and you're the bug maniac himself.
Let's just say Volcarona is not going to die early game. That's all I'm going to say. I'll leave it at that.
I think Volcarona is going to set up and sweep Shady's whole team.
Ooh. I wasn't going to say that, but we'll see.
I mean, you never know. You never know what a giant bug is going to do to Shady.
We'll see. We'll see. No, he can't bring a shoe to our GBA match, so we'll see what happens.
No, he cannot. I mean, he can bring something with high jump kick if he wants to, but, you know, can't bring no shoes.
No shoes.
The next question is, and, before I continue, because I forgot to do this in the beginning, in the description down below, you will find copious links. You will find aDrive's Twitter. You will find aDrive's Twitch. You will find aDrive's YouTube channel. You will also find aDrive's music band store thing. Yeah, that's right. I found it. I found it. I can't remember what it's named off the top of my head, but I already have all that stuff in my cart. Once I get my credit card, it's going right over there, and I'm going to sub to you on Twitch. Speaking of which,
thanks.
#bars. I wrote something for you, which they're all the same number of syllables, and they all rhyme.
Okay.
And it's something that you can say at the beginning of your Twitch streams, which is, "What's going on, Twitch TV? I'm ADR1v3. Thank you for supporting me. Click that follow heart, it's free. Or subscribe for a small fee."
Alright, alright. Do you know what my Twitch intro now is?
I'm pretty sure it's "What's going on Twitch TV? I'm ADR1v3.
Yeah. Yo, what is going on twitch.tv/ADR1v3? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive, the best in Pokemon streaming content in probably the entire world.
In the entire world?
Yes, I'm bringing the best Pokemon streaming content in the entire world. That's my plan. That's what I set out to do back in August. And the aDrive army is making it happen. It's not even me. It's the aDrive army. So
the aDrive army comes through so hard. Like, one of the things that I've noticed is, and this is one of the things that I talk about with everybody that I interview, is their specific support group. For you, it's the aDrive army. For Geo, it's the Challengers. For Claire, it's the Centred Scouts. For Nips, who I'm interviewing him tomorrow, it's the Nip Slips. Of course, you can see him actually slip his nip on another video on my channel. But
I'm not sure I want to see that.
No, you have to see it because he tells the story of how he got his name.
All right, well, maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll check it out.
I don't know what you're into.
Not Nips Nipples.
But one of the things that I definitely see with you guys is that, or with the aDrive army rather, is how much you support all the content creators in the community, and how it's not, the aDrive army isn't just about aDrive, it's about the Pokemon community. And for me, that's such a beautiful thing. Like what I told you right before we started this interview is, for me, that's such a beautiful thing to see, because for everybody to be connecting around something like this is, it's otherworldly, because it's not something that you can just walk out into the street and do, but then you log onto Twitter, YouTube, and you see hundreds of thousands of people all talking about the same thing.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool, and I kind of built my channel and built my content and my ideas and all that stuff off of this whole community feeling. I was someone who was not involved in the Pokemon community at all less than a year ago, and I wanted to be involved, and my thought was the best way to do that was to get to know everyone, get to know the other content providers who I used to watch, and I do now. So I watched, I was a spectator, but I wasn't a provider of content in Pokemon. And, you know, I did it the way I thought I should do it. I wanted to build a community around not only my content, but around the content of other people who I liked. And I think there's a quote, and I'm going to mess it up, but it's something about ships on a rising tide, rising together. I don't know how it goes, but basically, you know, if I'm going to grow and my channel and my content and stuff like that is going to grow, it's going to be a lot more beneficial and easier to do if I'm growing with a lot of other people. You know what I mean? As more people watch Twitch on Pokemon on Twitch, more people are going to watch me. So it's not a competition. It's not aDrive versus JYT Gamer for viewership. I don't care about that. I want Jay to do just as well, if not better than me. I love Jay. Just like I really enjoy and advocate for a lot of other people's content on Twitch. It's not a free-for-all. It's really not. It's about us all working together and helping each other out to grow different fan bases and grow together, because, you know, Jay doesn't stream all the time. I don't stream all the time. You know, in fact, my schedule actually kind of works with Jay's. Like, I'll stream, then he comes on, he streams, and I'm done by the time he starts, and it ends up working out. Why can't we all benefit, and why can't people be fans of more than one person or support more than one person? I think that's a great thing. So I've always kind of emphasized that since I started doing this, and I will continue to do so. I'm going to continue to help out other streamers, whether they're 5 people watching them or 500 people watching them. If I have an opportunity and I can help someone else out, I'm going to do that. And my hope is that people return the favor at some point in the day or in the next couple weeks or whatever it is. And if they don't, no big deal. Like, that's fine with me. I'm going to do my thing.
I'm one of those 5. I'm one of the he got 5 people watching him.
But see, that's the thing though. Like, just a few months ago, I was doing the exact same thing, right? I was streaming in front of 2 or 3 people, and I haven't forgotten that. I haven't forgotten what it's like to have an empty chat or, you know, streaming and have no one watch you. I totally get it. But you know, if you have 1 or 2 people watching, you have those 1 or 2 people. Those people are watching you because they like you. You know what I mean? So you should appreciate that, and you should just continue to work and keep working and keep working, because if you put out good content, you stay innovative, you try new things, and you really, really show that you genuinely care about your viewers, which I do. I mean, I love the people that watch me. I love the aDrive Army. I love the community. If you show those things, you will be successful. You really will.
I hear you in your streams. You're calling people by their first name. Like, it's not just like you say that you care, you show it. Like, you get to know people. You gave me this opportunity. I'm sitting here with, I think, like 28 subscribers right now. Most people think I have a lot more because I have friends in the community that have literally over 1,000 times the number of subscribers that I have. Like you. You have, like, 1.5... You have, like, 15... I mean, you're at, like, 38K right now. I'm at 28, like, not 28K, just 28, and people assume that I have a much larger viewership because of the networking that I've done, but it's not about, and this is kind of the point that I was trying to get at, is that it's not about the size, it's about who you're working with and how you use those relationships for mutual gain, because
exactly,
if you try and do it for personal gain for yourself, then you'll only go so far before people start not wanting to do it with you anymore.
Yeah, no, totally. And that's a good point. I want to kind of touch on that too, because there's many instances where people come to me and they message me and say, hey, can we multi-Twitch together? Hey, can we do a YouTube video together? Hey, can we do this? And my response is, send me your content. I'll take a look. But if you've posted 3 Pokemon videos in the last 2 months, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Like, you have to show me that you're invested in this as much as I am, or at least close, because I spend, you know, 10, 12 hours a day doing this, and I want to collaborate with people who have the same passion I do, and have the same goals I do, and the same drive that I do, pun intended. But there's many instances where people, they're just not there yet, and I'm not ruling out the opportunities or potential to collaborate with people. I don't care what size they are, you know. It doesn't matter to me if they're putting out good content, they put out high quality, and they show a lot of effort in the videos. That's what I look for, because again, just a few months ago, I was, you know, if you want to talk about numbers and viewership and stuff like that, I was in that same spot, right? So, you know, it kind of can evolve really, really quickly. It's a snowball effect. Once you kind of get it rolling, you hope that it continues to roll. And one other point I wanted to touch on too, because I do think it's very important, is you mentioned that I try to address people by their first name, and obviously I can't do that with everyone who watches my streams and stuff. But there are a good amount of people that I call them by their first name because I follow back my Twitch subscribers on Twitter because I want to get to know them better. A lot of people don't actually know this, but I'm going to talk about it right now. I have a Skype group called the Mod Squad, which actually includes about 20 or 30 people from my stream that I didn't pick. I didn't pick them. They were chosen by another individual, one of my bigger supporters, and she put this collaborative group together, and I found out about it. I was like, I want to be in that. Like, why am I not in that? Because they have this own little
it's my stream. Why am I not there?
Yeah, they had this own little sub community that they hang out and talk and jump on Skype calls with, and they're all friends. And that's amazing. And I thought that I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. Like, this came from my stream. That's cool. Like, let me be a part of it. So now we do a call every week for an hour where I just sit there and I talk to them and we just hang out. Just privately, just me and the Mod Squad, and again, these are people who have just been following me for a while, and they support my content, and they're my friends. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh yeah, I like this guy because he's the top donator. I like this person because they mod my chat. These people are my friends. Like, I'm putting the effort in to get to know these people and show them that I want to be a part of their lives because they are such a huge part of my life. If someone could give me the time of their day to come watch me, I can give them some time back too. So I do try to do my best to respond to comments and tweets and all that stuff. I can't do everything, but I do my best, and hopefully people notice. I don't do it because I want people to notice. I do it because that's just how I am. But you know what I mean? Like, I try to do it the way I think I should do it, and what I think is the right way. And everyone has their approach and stuff like that. But I really enjoy this, and I'm just super thankful to, you know, my supporters, the aDrive Army, and just the people who watch my content and stuff like that. It's truly an amazing experience. I'm very, very humbled by the ability to do this full time. It's a dream come true, really.
I just, everything that you said, like, when I'm nodding my head, I'm not nodding my head to make you think that I'm listening. I'm nodding my head because everything that you say I completely agree with, and it's not like I could even say it any better myself. It's just like, he's right, he's right, he's right, he's right. and it's just like, why some people just get it, some people just don't get it. I think you're one of the people that just get it. You understand the how would I say, the spirit behind the community. Because if you think about it, the first person who ever did Pokemon on YouTube, they never thought that it would become what it is now.
Yeah.
There's no way. If I started playing some game that nobody had ever heard of on YouTube and told everybody, yeah, eventually this is going to be a major part of the biggest free video streaming website on the planet, they would be like, you need to go to an asylum. Because, like, if you think about it, that is insane. It is insane to think that you can start something from nothing, but that's what it is. That's the spirit behind the community, is that you can take an idea, a camera, and a game, and turn it into an army.
Yeah, and we're not battling anyone. We're sending provisions.
Well, I mean, in the GBA a little bit, but other than that, you're fine. But that's one of and in the comment section down below, if you are here from the aDrive Army or from wherever you're from, let me know. Put hashtag aDrive Army, hashtag Centrist Scouts, hashtag Challengers, hashtag anything, because the reason I named my channel Lucky Lad TV is because everyone that appears on my channel becomes an official host. So if aDrive wants to post something, but he doesn't want to put it on his channel, he can say, hey, I'm a host, can you put this on your channel? And it'll go up on my channel. Because that's the whole thing for me, is that it's not like Lumio Station in that it's a specific group. It's that it's me and my friends, And if you want to be on YouTube, you can be on YouTube. I'm not going to guarantee a bunch of views or subscribers or anything, but hey, if you want to get your idea out there, go for it, man.
Yeah, I think that's really cool, man. That's really cool of you.
And the lucky part is because, and the reason I kept checking in on you when you were opening your Roaring Skies box is because that's the origin of my name, is because I have the most unexplainable luck streak with Pokemon TCG, to the point that in one box I got 8 full arts and EXs.
That's pretty good.
And the lowest I've gotten out of a box is 7. And it's like, on my old channel I had a series called Lucky Polls, and it kind of just went from there. But like I was saying, the origin of this channel is to sort of embody the community as a whole, kind of like what Lumio Station does, in saying, if you want to produce content and you're actually going to go after it, and you're actually going to put your heart, your soul, your blood, your sweat, your tears, you're actually going to put that into it, then you should do it, man. I mean, there's no guarantee that you'll end up with this as your job or anything like that, but to the same extent, it's a beautiful hobby, and you can get to meet and interact with some amazing people by doing it. Like, go away, fly. Like, if you just look at me, I'm 19, I'm literally just chatting with aDrive. If somebody told me that a month ago, I'd be like, don't be stupid. I'm not going to get to talk to aDrive. He's aDrive.
I'm just a regular man. I'm just a regular guy, dude. There's it's nothing special, man. I just try to have fun, be a little bit innovative every once in a while, and be me.
When you thought of the CageLocke, when you said that, I'm like, how has nobody thought of that before?
I'm surprised, truthfully.
When you said that, I'm like, why did it sounds familiar just because it makes sense, but nobody had thought of it before. I'm like, a cage match in Pokemon. Yeah, it makes sense. What's the problem? And then he's like, yeah, and this is the first time it's ever being done. And I'm like, seriously?
Yeah. I mean, you could have called it anything. I called it the cage match because that's kind of what I envisioned from a graphic perspective and from an aesthetic perspective. But really, you could have called it anything. I think the idea behind it, though, I was surprised that it had never been done either. And maybe it has been done, but not to the scale of the series that Shady and I have. And it was never brought. Like, if you go search different playthroughs on YouTube or Google and try to find out different ideas, that's one that you're not going to run into. As far as I could tell, I researched it pretty extensively after I came up with it to make sure that I could really safely make the claim that I did create this idea. And I do stand by the fact that I am able to say that I created it. So that's really cool. And I hope that, and I tweeted this out the other day, I hope other people try it, because it's been a blast to film with Shady, and I'm sure Shady makes it, a million times better than it otherwise would have been. But it's been a blast to film. He's a great partner, but I think, if you get yourself and another person and you do the same kind of idea, you'll have fun. I mean, this has been such a heartbreaking but fun playthrough.
Well, I think the first 3 weren't very heartbreaking.
No, the first 3 cage matches weren't heartbreaking at all. We filmed up to 7, which I believe the 7th cage match is going to go up the day after this interview. But it's been very heartbreaking. If you haven't watched it, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but for both myself and Shady, it's been quite devastating at points, but it's been fun, and that's what Nuzlocke is supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be a connection between you and the Pokemon as much as you can, right? It's a digital game. It's not real. I can't hug Zippo, but what I can do is I could bond with Zippo through the trials. No spoilers. The trials of this playthrough, and it's been a blast. So, like I said, I do encourage anyone else who wants to try it, whether it be on YouTube or just with a friend. It's fun, man. I'm biased because I created it, but it's fun.
This should be going up on Thursday.
Okay, cool.
We're recording it on Tuesday, so the reason I say rest in peace Zippo is because by that time,
you should be caught up.
Yeah, people should be caught up by then, or at least caught up to that point. So that's why I'm not worried about that. But to the same extent, it's why I'm not asking you about the outcome of the 7th CageLocke, because
not gonna tell you.
I don't know if it would have been out yet.
It'll be out, but I'm not going to tell you. You got to watch it.
Oh, no. I watch all the episodes because my favorite things are the way that you guys react.
Oh, man. There's some reactions coming up. I'll leave it at that. But there are some reactions. I'm talking yelling. I'm talking me taking my headset off and being like, it's going to get intense. And it's all legit, authentic. It's going to be intense. The next few episodes really test myself and Shady and our ability to keep it cool. So
we're nearing we're actually like completely over time right now, but that's not the point. But like the last thing that I want to, it's not really a question. I'm sure you're gonna have something to say about it, but it's really more of a statement, is how thankful I am. I just hit my webcam, that's gonna suck. How thankful I am for the community and you and people like you for giving me this opportunity and for giving me some sort of outlet. And I know that we were talking about this a little bit before, but sort of on like a more personal extent, it's like this is pretty much the extent of my social interactions. I know that you have a bunch of people that you interact with in real life, but to the same extent, there's a certain level of camaraderie with people that you meet over the internet based on just similar interests. And that's why I want to thank you and the people like you and all the people of this community just for being.
Just for existing.
Just for existing, because if you think about it, if they didn't, then I'd be getting 360 no-scoped by aDrive Team Caliber and and I'd be crying in a corner because I don't know how to play games.
Yeah, no more quick scoping for me, but in the same token of what you just said, I mean, just as thankful as you are to have the opportunity to interview myself and other people and be a part of this community, I'm equally thankful that yourself and other people are interested in even talking to me in the first place. Again, I keep referencing back to this, but I have not forgotten where I was, just a few short months ago in terms of content, and I was a washed-up Call of Duty player, and now I'm a blossoming Pokemon YouTuber and Twitch streamer, which is really, really cool. I don't take the numbers too seriously. I don't look at my sub count and my viewers, and it is what it is, right? If people are gonna watch me, they're not gonna watch me. I use it to understand, if I'm doing good or not. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep making the content I love to make, and hopefully putting a positive impact on other people's lives. And I think you're doing the exact same thing in the fact that you're trying to bring good content to people by showing, people like myself and other content providers and how they are and kind of stuff aside from being in front of their normal audience, right? So I do want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on your channel and for the GBA stuff and all that stuff, man. It's been an absolute blast. So thank you.
All right. So basically, at the end, you do your outro first, then I do mine, because I went first in the beginning. So, and then at the end, I just do some quick thanks. So you can do your outro whenever you're good.
Okay. All right, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please leave a thumbs up rating for me. I really appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. This has been your boy aDrive, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.
All right, guys, we're going to get it back. Best luck to you out there. We will see you all soon. Goodbye.